Alright, I have these 8 little pieces of gold here that I'm going to run through the gold cube today when it arrives. It should be here within the next hour or two. But there's some pretty small ones in there. I'm going to just test it, see if I catch all those when I run some material through the gold cube. The next thing I'm going to do here, this is some black sand. I've got some dirt here. This is, I believe this was some MDV. I've already ran it. There shouldn't be much, if any, gold in it. But I'm going to add some, classify that dirt down to about the same size as that. And the gold, obviously those 2 bigger pieces, I was just throwing those in there just to see. But the other ones are fairly small. So other than those 2 larger pieces of gold there, everything's going to be pretty well classified down to the same size. We're going to go ahead and dump this in there. Like I said, there shouldn't be much in either that black sand or this dirt here, because I've already gone over it once, but I'm not saying we don't. There's 8 pieces there all together. But I'm not saying for certain that once we run all this material and that we might not end up with 9, 10, 11 pieces of gold, you know. But I'm pretty confident I went over this all pretty well. Okay, I've already removed black sand from this the first time I went over. That's why I was adding some black sand to it. That's pretty much our concoction there. We're going to go ahead and add this in there. Got all 8 of them, looks like. Okay. That's the little bit of material we're going to run through the gold cube just as a test once it gets here. Alright, so I got the gold cube and it's set up finally. I didn't put the extender legs on there. Didn't really see the need for them. But basically that's what it looks like. I don't know if you'll be able to see inside all that much. There's some matting inside there. Guess there was a little mix-up. I thought he accidentally sent me the 4-stack deluxe with the legs and hose and pump and all that. I actually just ordered the 4-stack basic, but I ended up with the 3-stack deluxe. So I'll talk to him about that. Try to get that 4th tray possibly or something. We'll do a little quick example run before I actually start to run it. Material on it anyways. I've already put some jet dry in it. This pump's not too loud. The whole operation's not all that loud. Can't really see in there. Sort of can see on that bottom tray. But anyways, yeah, got it running. Jet dry in there and all that. So I guess the next thing is to start running some material. Alright, it's showtime. Let's go ahead and run this. Normally I wet my material down so that fine gold doesn't start floating. But with this it's supposed to drown the gold so it doesn't float. So we're going to go ahead and do it dry this time. As you can tell, it's not going to take very long. It's just a small sample test. I'll go ahead and let that run a minute, and then we'll shut it down and test it. And I'll bring you back for that when I clean it out. Okay, so we shut down, we took off that top slick plate there. And I was kind of looking at the matting, trying to figure out where those bigger chunks were, but then I realized they never came out of the reservoir. Let me try to get out of the light. There's one right up there. The bigger one there. And then over on this other side, oh, we got a glare. It's not really picking them up. But yeah, there's two right at the tip of my finger. So 4 of the 8 pieces never even touched the matting. There's a bit of black sand and stuff on this matting, and I don't see the other 4 pieces right off hand, but we'll go ahead and clean that tray out and see if they're in that top tray or not. Alright, so an update. We got those 4 pieces in that top tray that never touched the mat. As I was getting ready to rinse out the first tray, I also noticed that, okay, here's that tray that I was talking about that those got trapped in. But as I was washing it, I noticed another piece was at the head of the mat that actually touched the mat, but it never made it onto the mat. So that's 5 that realistically never made it onto the mat. And then after cleaning that first tray, I found number 6 and 7, but number 8 was not there. So I took it down to the second stack, second tray there, and found the number 8 one. I forgot to show you that. I snuffered it up already. But basically that's how it came down. That 8th one, the number 8th one, was actually one of the ones I chose specifically because it's really flat, really small. So it's not really a surprise it didn't get caught in the first tray, but it did get caught in the second tray. That's the important part. So yeah, it caught it all 8 pieces, and didn't find anything else that I may have missed in that MDV dirt. So, but like I said, I wasn't planning on finding anything. I'm usually pretty good about it. Once I go over some dirt, there's usually not much in it. So we got all 8, no extra bonuses from the dirt. So the test was successful, and I have a new toy.